Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. It is now noon. I'm so excited. This is our first live stream. Dion, it is a pleasure to meet you. And Basha, I've been meaning to catch up with you, so I'm so excited that we are doing this today.
And it's Baisha with a long A, just so you know.
Baisha with a long A. That's a beautiful name.
Hold on, let me figure something out here because I'm live streaming on YouTube and now I have an echo. So, technical difficulties.
Yes, I heard that a little bit too.
Baisha. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
No, that's fine.
Let me figure this out real quick.
Everyone who knows me judges how well someone knows me as to whether they pronounce the name right or not.
So you get to pass on the first meet, right? It's all good.
I totally hear you on that.
So I'm not hearing the echo anymore. Desiree, are you?
No, I'm not.
All right. So do you all hear that echo?
No.
I'm trying to figure this out and I feel like I'm failing miserably.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, well, good. So there it is.
There it is again.
You think maybe if we hop off and hop back on, maybe it will clear itself up, or that's like
that does help.
Yes, it does. It just kind of, clears everything out.
Let's see here. Let me see if I'm
So in our technology, we often show the little funny
there it is. Okay, I see
of all the things happening.
I love that. Because we're such tech people, but we have technical difficulties too,
It's so embarrassing. Like this is, I guess I shouldn't have tried this the first time that I'm, trying to have this conversation. Well, so let me just do the introductions now that I've figured out the pause button on the YouTube stream. Welcome so much to our Women Crush Wednesdays. We are going to be talking about the Rock IT Women Conference in the May. Well, we're doing this at the Gall House in May on the 18th and 19th, and we're really, really excited to have Baisha Roberts with us. Baisha, I was so excited to read your bio because I'm like, I need Baisha in my life. I need somebody that actually, has been boots on the ground for 29 years. I've been mostly an ethereal entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, and a lot of my stuff is it's hard for me to hone in on a concept and really share it with people. They're like, your ideas are way too big for me. So I'm so excited to be a part of this conference and listen to your talk about how to be successful as a woman in information technology. And so introduce to me your team here. I want to learn more. So.
Well, I'm Baisha Roberts, and I'm the president of LexTech Inc. We are based in Lexington, Kentucky. We used to laugh and say that we started a tech company in the black hole of technology in Kentucky at the time. There weren't very many technology companies, and especially not one with a leader as a woman. And we've been around for a long time. And one of my old friends who was in the tech company many years ago, he said, Baisha has known and forgotten more about technology than most of us will ever know. And with 29 years, I have seen so much technology come and go, and certifications of years ago that we don't even use that technology anymore. So we have done business across the US, and then with our enterprise companies, we've actually done business with them in over 40 countries. So that's been fun to do global business too. And my husband, it is a family business, but I'm a majority owner and president. We joke and say, don't tell everybody what we have done because they wouldn't believe it.
Wow. That's amazing.
I can hear you on that. I have so much magic in my life that I'm like, I can't even tell anybody because it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I guess my new passion of the last 2 years has been tracking blockchain, because that is, kind of the new thing coming. We still have a long way to go. And so it's fun to watch the new technology. When will it hit? When will it be? We say timing is everything.
Right.
All of us know people that have been in different industries that got in too early or too late. Timing is everything for an entrepreneur.
It's true. It's true.
I agree. I've been victim of that, so I've always been about 7 to 8 years ahead of my time. I had the Green Door restaurant, which was donate what you feel the meal is worth. And it was all gourmet food, local food resources. And it was back in 2011, right? And so everybody was like, what is going on? I had all this media attention. I was the talk of the town. Nobody understood what I was doing. And it was the most fun social experiment I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So introduce Dion. Tell me about you.
Yes, I am Dion Stokes. I have over 16 years of experience in marketing. I've been a political analyst and manager for 14 of those years. I've since retired, but I've always maintained my PR and marketing hat and provided services within that sphere. Most recently, we've branched out, myself and a business partner of mine have branched out, and we started Pivot, which is a professional wellness marketplace for individuals who are looking to pivot in life, who are looking for a life coach, a business consultant, a financial advisor, or an executive coach. And we offer one platform for individuals to come to our marketplace to find an individual and pay for that service on a monthly basis. So we're eliminating the accessibility and affordability factor that oftentimes holds individuals back from getting the services that they need. And so I have worked in the tech space for 16 years. I started my professional career, as I said, in politics, but I lived in Huntsville, Alabama, which is this little utopic space in middle of nowhere. Like you're saying, Daisha, like who knows about Huntsville except for when you know, then you know, and you know that it's so on the front end of all things tech, especially in the area of missile defense and the like. And so a lot of our clients were in that area, and that's in that field. So I'm not a stranger to this area. But I am definitely new. Google has picked up our Pivot as under the Black Founders Exchange, which I'm just honored to be a member of. And so they support us through all of our growth and development. We're in very early stages of this development. So it's really interesting for a non-tech founder to be in this space because every day that I sit at the feet of our developers and our development team, I'm always having to stretch my eyes. I feel like I hold my eyes open really large, so that helps me to hear and understand better, because I'm like, okay, okay, but is it pretty? That's what I'm mostly concerned about. Will it make the people feel good? Okay, well then let's do it. And so I'm learning so many new advances, new technology that's out there, new ways of being able to provide services to individuals that just makes my day amazing. So just a little bit of what I do on a daily basis.
Wow, you all are some amazing women. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me. So I just want to mention real quick, again, this shout out. We are doing this Women in Tech conference in May at the Galt House in Louisville, Kentucky. So this is not just women, this is men, our male allies that have helped us along the way, and all the amazing inspirational women that are doing the thing in the Louisville, Kentucky cities region. It's also a hybrid event. So we have online tickets available as well. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. We can listen to Baisha Roberts and talk. So just give us a little brief taste of what you're going to be talking about. Not that we want to hear your entire conversation, because actually I'm going to selfishly steal some of your brain power while we're here. So tell us a little bit about what you want to talk about in May.
Well, when Shannon and I started talking about this, I shared with her that when I started my tech company, I was starting to see where women in tech were not going to be promoted. And we, believe it or not, we were starting to go down in numbers instead of up, and that concerned me. And so I really told her that, believe it or not, over those 29 years, they got worse instead of better, which is very concerning to me. But women who want to be in a technology business, I really feel still today, one of the best ways to be successful in your career is to start your own technology company. And, we're starting to see more focus on this, but it is so important because we're still seeing, and I have some different stats that we will be sharing on how women that are in the enterprise world and those that are still facing what we call the bro culture.
Yes.
And there will be very few women on the management team. There will be very few women on the IT team at all. And so it is, just really important for women to understand that you don't have to try to only work for a very large enterprise company, or you can branch out and be an entrepreneur. You have to be brave, but hopefully we're going to share some good information as to how you can do this. And I really believe that a lot of women and in the business world are looking for and really enjoy, and some of these are the men too, they enjoy working with women in technology because I believe we bring gifts and talents to analyzing and understanding and communicating that, quite frankly, a lot of our brother engineers and programmers just don't have that talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on that topic, because I do have a lot of male ally friends, and they're like, why are you segregating yourself? What is this about? And I said, we're not segregating. We do realize that there's been some challenges in the past, but moving forward, this is kind of where, my technology grand experiment comes into play. So, my dream in the future is that we don't identify as, Black, Hispanic, white, or other, male or female, but we identify by our strengths. So if you're a scientist, a technologist, an engineer, an artist, or a mathematician, this is how you will identify and communicate and connect with the employers in the future and the universe. Because I think that one of the most important things that we don't recognize right now, or we're so caught up, is that our data is so important. So we have got to, first of all, protect our data and our security, figure out who we are, and offer our gifts, right? To, something that's going to leave the earth better than we found it. That's my common mission that I find with everybody. And so, so I see the gender gap, in the past, or even the divisiveness that we have learned to exist inside. I think that that's a broken system. Yeah. So I'm really excited to hear more about blockchain and your ideas, or maybe some of the solutions that you have seen currently, because I do believe that blockchain is the future. I don't think people really understand that the entire world is moving to blockchain. Mm-hmm. Water will be tokenized on the blockchain, and we will know if it's clean water or if it's got fluoride in it. We're going to heal the earth with this technology through the creators that have passion, like yourself, Dion, like right. Yourself.
It's really fun. The three leaders that I've worked with, as far as companies, have been IBM, AT&T, and Microsoft. And really, each one of those were taking a little bit of a different piece, is what I evaluated, in that Microsoft was really looking at hosting the solutions and a lot of the security. And then IBM was really working on the business process side, especially in the supply chain. They've done some work with Walmarts and some of those. Interestingly, those projects of tracking our food started at when the food was taken out of the field. But, I was working where we're like, well, we want to know what fertilizers went on that, and what,
right.
We want to know more, what testing was done of the soil and things like that. So what water was used, because that water, I worked with water companies before for our drinking water, but what you put on a plant has a lot to do with what that is too. So really some fun technology there, and a lot of work to be done yet, but at least it's fun seeing what the vision is that we could go in and look at piece of fruit, vegetable, meat, scan that and be able to see exactly where that came from, what the cow was fed, or what, and especially I think right now we just want to know what country did it come from.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a lot of excitement there. And then AT&T in the US was working on actually providing the technology of telecommunications that we could actually get on the farmland, because most ag farmland, even in the US now, we don't have good access. So lots of fun things going on there. And if anyone wants to follow what I see as the real first leader, Don Tapscott out of Canada, he has works for the Blockchain Technology Institute up there, and wrote the first book on the blockchain technology. So see, if you get me going, I won't shut up.
No, and actually I'm fascinated because I see that you're, growing up in a farming environment, and I see that I want to connect the local food supply chains. There is an amazing K&B Liberty Farms just like right through the field here, where they're raising hundreds of chickens. They move them daily. They harvest the eggs. They're feeding non-GMO, like organic food. They're getting them processed at an FDA facility. I mean, they are doing the thing, and they need to grow. This is a community supported agriculture business. And I want to see these people get connected and put on the blockchain so that we can always understand, when you scan this and you're knowing what this chicken's eating, and you're knowing that this farmer invested 3 years just trying to make his soil right. Because I think the most important things that we can do right now, taking care of ourselves, is take care of the soil under our feet and our friends and our family and the people that are important to us, because there's a lot of things out there that are really distracting. But when we focus on the things that we're passionate about and solving problems, I don't think anybody can take that away from us.
Right. And this whole supply chain between countries, there's so much potential for the blockchain there, because today we have so much cost tied to transportation that so much of that is duplicated over and over and over because we don't have the ERP systems, technology connected to the brokers, and the brokers to the shippers. And sometimes whether it's a product we're buying or whether it's food, it might cross hands from, we use the comparison, it could go on a truck, and then on a train, and then on a ship, back onto a train, and back to a truck before we get these goods.
Mm-hmm.
So Dion, does that line up with you? I mean, do you see the solutions of your business and how blockchain can help your business too?
Absolutely. It's what my whole focus is to empower women to actually step their foot into technology. And so data, you said it earlier, but data is absolutely king. I've worked in harvesting data for various companies for this very reason, is to be able to support blockchain in its very imminent and very forthcoming, it's on its way, future. And so when we're looking at, our mega farmers in any agriculture, be it hemp or animal or herbs or the like, we're looking at the process of being able to empower women to step into those areas. And so my whole position with the event that we're having, which is coming up in May, shameless plug, if you guys haven't gotten your tickets, they're on sale now. But is to be able to empower women to say, if you have an idea, let that germinate in your spirit and produce it, because we have so much within us that we just stuff down all the time, and we take those ideas as if, well, it could happen, or somebody else is probably doing it, and if somebody else is doing it, no one can do it like you. And so I am excited to be able to just speak life into individuals that have ideas, that want to be able to get into this area that has been so male dominated since I could dare say since its inception, and really bring us to the forefront of being able to see what we can do and how we are so much better together. We as women they've said that we can be catty. Now I don't believe it, but they say that we even orbit in our own spheres. But when we come together and we unite our our powers. The amount of effort that it takes for us to not speak to someone or not work with someone is just wasted, and how we are so much stronger and better together. So I know that in every opportunity that I've had to work, especially in our technological fields, I've had to work with our male allies, but whenever women show up to the table, we just do it better. We do it faster, we do it quicker. And again, it's always going to be a little bit more stylish at the end, because we know what we're doing. We just have to be empowered. Someone has to tell us that we're doing it right. And so that is something that, again, I am highly passionate about. It is what I have spent my professional career being hopefully developing in other women, and is what I do in my own business. As a serial entrepreneur, every single day, it's hard for me to wake up and say, oh, I know how to do, I don't know how to do what I do every day, but I have an amazing team that supports me, and they're 100% female, that supports me to be able to carry this on. And the moment that I'm able to sit and learn and absorb, it just makes me stronger and more unstoppable. So that's my whole purpose for being at the conference coming up. Can you give exact dates? I had it written here. And
May 18th and May 19th.
There it is. Thank you, because I was going to say the 12th.
18th is a special evening dinner, invitation only, where we are going to really connect and discuss all of the amazing things that the future holds. And then the next day is the full day conference. So I'm very, very excited about that. Two things I want to circle back around. I'll circle back to you, Dion. Yeah. So I believe that if women treated each other like sisters, mothers, or daughters, we could solve any problem. And I really believe that that's our true nature, but I think that maybe, we've been taught differently, or we've learned a different thing that really doesn't serve us any longer. But one of my favorite female CEOs recently, one of her big mottos is do more with less. And that is something that we as creative women are great at.
Oh, absolutely.
We always do more with less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why we're in such high demands in these fields, is because we can actually walk in, see the deficiencies in the area, and not have to tap into a budget in order to solve it. The first thing we need to do is talk about it. Then we need to identify the resources that we already have in order to plug into the some of the spaces that we need. Then we can go out and find, if we need to be able to buy something. But let me tell you, there's nobody better that can walk into a pantry and say, okay, I got to feed my family tonight. I've got a can of pinto beans and some spinach, and come out with a masterpiece. No one can do it like us. And I feel like the individuals that have occupied this space for longer are realizing that. And so the amount of demand that we're in is high. Again, I cannot encourage every female that I encounter that is even has ever had an idea that it's like, but that's just beyond me. I don't know how to do that. This app would be so helpful. My sister was saying yesterday, I wish there was an app that when I pulled up to Kroger, it would tell me the things that I was wanting to buy. Like, what aisle is Harissa on? You know what I mean? Like, who even knows where that is in the grocery store? And so I'm going to spend half an hour trying to find it. I'm going to ask somebody, they're not going to know. I wish I had this, you know what I mean? And maybe that technology already exists, but the moment that you say, I wish I had, is the moment that you have an idea. And if we really used whatever resource that we have, be it a little or a lot, to bring that into fruition, imagine the world that we could live in. It would be bright and beautiful.
So, I would like to add that that's something this conference can add. I've often said that men understand how to play and then do business together. This conference offers us an opportunity to come together over 2 days and build new and existing relationships, so we can play together, learn together, and then do business together.
Then do business. I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. And you know what? We have so much. There is so much abundance out there. Like, your knowledge and my knowledge, we triangulate together, and we could probably solve a few problems.
Oh yeah.
And we don't need $1 million to bring that problem, to solve that problem and bring it to market. And, I've been a bootstrapper my whole life. I've not been a trust fund baby, but I have enjoyed this journey probably a little more than I should have, but I'm having the time of my life right now. These last 2 years have probably been the most exciting time of my life, because I see so much opportunity for change.
Yeah.
So much opportunity to do it a better way. And so I'm just so looking forward to this conference. Are you hosting a panel discussion also?
Yes, we're going to have a panel discussion to talk about Some of the challenges you have going into business, some of the blessings we have, just many different topics. And obviously when you're have a technology business, sometimes it's hard to find a women to hire. So very often you end up managing a lot of men. So there's challenges in that also. And so what we'll be covering, and asking good questions and letting our panelists discuss how they have overcome some of these obstacles and how they've been successful. And sometimes we look at things differently and are able to solve these problems in a different way. Look at them as opportunities instead of problems.
I love it.
Very, very good. Well, I don't really know as far as next steps, would you mind if I picked your brain I've got a few more minutes before we have to close this out. So in my grand experiment, when I say, how do you identify, as a scientist, technologist, engineer, artist, or mathematician? Here's my share screen for our Rocket IT Women poster. But I'll ask you first, Dion. So if someone were to ask you this, how would you say that you would identify? And maybe you need I've also got the definition of what a scientist is. Maybe that's a better thing to share. Let me just go back to here we are. Look, all right, so this is when you come to my website. It says, welcome to the Genius Portal. How do you identify? So here's the definition of a scientist. Here's open-minded, experiment-driven. I consider myself a scientist, but I do it. I'm fascinated by biology,
Yes.
Technologist, creator and a user of technology systems. That could be anybody, really. I feel like people could find themselves there. Engineers, fascinated by puzzles, innovation principles, processes, designs, and society. And then artists, of course, you're creative, sensitive, empathetic, I think that anybody can be an artist. There's culinary arts. I love to eat.
Yes.
There's performance, music. I think anything really, when you love it and it's passion, it's an art form.
Yeah.
And then, there's mathematicians. So they are very truth-driven. They love patterns. Math is probably the universal language of our solar system. I don't know. But anyway, how would you identify Dion?
Absolutely. I love your website and these examples that you give, because this is a lot of fun. I am a scientist with a hint of engineering, as an engineer. Oh, I have a little engineering sprinkled right on top of me just being a scientist through and through. I started even my scholastic journey as a biochem major because I'm obsessed with knowing the answer. And so I love to be able to say, without a shadow of a doubt, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to, this is what people want. This is how you measure the outcome. This is how you actually get to this. This is a problem. Let's find the solution to it. So I love to be able to say that I'm a scientist. I have a hard time and in some severe imposter syndrome situations going around saying a serial entrepreneur. But through and through, I am a scientist in everything that I do. I want to find the solution. But that engineer is sprinkled right on top. Because if I can't fix it, I'm going to stay at it until midnight to put it together, to solve the puzzle, to be able to come out with whatever our outcome is. And so I love this. I'm a scientist with an engineering
I love it.
seasoned sauce on top.
Baisha, how would you respond if somebody asked you?
This is interesting because I have had the title, and lots of people call me this, the unique geek. So I'm the artistic engineer. I have the left-right brain going. And so I am the person who is always analyzing and looking at systems, but I'm very creative in that. And because of that creative side of me and being able to write also and communicate, I have that left-right brain going. So I think an artistic technologist would be very good description of me.
I love it. Actually, that's so the artist is really my focus in everything, because what I've found in recruiting for information technology professionals over the last 25 years, I've found so many artists, and what we've discovered is that they have this creative spark. You know, math and logic is absolutely needed in this space, but if you leave out the arts, you leave out that creativity, you're just going to be repeating the same patterns over and over again. But the artists, the creatives are really the ones that are defining the space, especially in information security and cyber intelligence, right? Because in cyber intelligence, all you have are threat actors that are trying to break into your systems and either, you know, take over or destroy you. And then you have, you know, 95% of all the companies out there are just trying to protect. You know, they're in this protection mode. I've got to protect, I've got to protect. But when you work in a company that wants to solve problems, so they're looking to the future, and they've opened up this creative space, and the creatives that are forward thinking and trying to be ahead of those day zeros, I'm finding it in the artists. And I have filled my ranks with artists all over the place, and we are seeing some amazing results with artists who actually are multidimensional and identify as scientists or identify as engineers also. So you guys are all my demographic. It's beautiful. Shannon, I see you joined us. How are you doing, Miss Shannon? Are you there?
She must be multitasking.
She's multitasking. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we are really excited.
I'm here. Sorry. Sorry, I couldn't get my phone off mute. So I'm
just gonna
jumping
wrap
in
up for a little-
between.
I'm so
I'm on a
sorry.
webinar, so I'm jumping in between my webinar and this. So
Multitasking, I totally get it. Well, we have talked about the hybrid event, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about one of the things that you're excited about with this upcoming conference?
oh gosh, just one. Did you say tell us one of the things?
So everybody knows, if they've listened the whole time, that this is a hybrid event. It is Women in Technology Conference. It's called Women, or Rock IT Women, Rocket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna edit all this stuff out. I can't.
Yeah, thanks for promoting that. Well, I'm really excited about what we're doing on the 18th with these two lovely ladies, and we have two other ladies that are joining the panel. So we've never really focused on the entrepreneurs of the group, and there's tons of entrepreneurs in IT. And so this is a brand new. So this is like the fourth year for the conference, and we've never had a panel like this. And we've never really focused on, like I said, the entrepreneurs in IT. Right. So I'm really excited about these ladies panels. That's on the 18th, and the 18th is going to be a lot of fun. It was originally, really created for the people that are coming in from out of town, because people would come in from out of town. They would say to me, where should we go to eat? Or what should we go do? We're coming in the day before. What should we go do? And I would give people examples, and then just like, wait a minute, I should do something for these people coming in from out of town. So that was like the original reason that we put this first day onto the conference, or we added that day. And so this is a fun kind of relaxed. It won't be as many people as the next day. And it's going to be more networking. So we have a cocktail hour, and I'm excited. We have a cocktail sponsor. So the first cocktail will be on us. So the networking and cocktail hour will be before the panel, and then we have a nice dinner, and then we'll have the panel. So I'm super excited. I hope everyone can come to this. And even if you're not in IT, right, ladies, like there's so many lessons learned if you're not in IT. And then also if you're not an entrepreneur, I think these are lessons learned that anyone can take with them, right? If leaders, anyone. So if you're not an entrepreneur, not in IT, you can still come to the 18th event for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that I think is the most important, that I wanted to discuss, is that if you have looked around lately and you're like, these systems are either severely damaged or broken, you should be at this meeting. You should be at this conference, because we want to hear and discuss and share ideas. And this is definitely the place to come and connect. See my smile. The Galt House has done an amazing renovation. The Swizzle restaurant, it's the spinning restaurant downtown Louisville. It is so gorgeous, you all. You've got to come. And we've got discount tickets. I'm sure Baisha, probably has a code, but we've got the Digibyte code. We are giving away $100, actually $1,000 in Digibyte. We're doing 10 wallets, so 10 lucky winners will win $100 each in Digibyte cryptocurrency. So you need to sign up for the conference, and we are just excited for y'all to have this. Thank you, Shannon, for taking the time and all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into making this conference not only continue, but now we're in our 4th year, would have been our 5th. We decided last year that, you know, with COVID, we just didn't feel like it was the right time, but this is the time. This is our Normandy. We've got to stand up and say, this is what we support, and we move forward with the solutions, and we stop supporting the solutions that are in the past and no longer working.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies. Well, you all have been fabulous. We will see you May 18th and 19th at the Galt House, downtown Louisville, Kentucky, for the Women Rock IT Conference.
Thank you so much for having us today. I look forward to seeing you ladies then.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
see you
Y'all
all
have a wonderful
soon.
day.
All right.
Bye.